Hey everyone, this is Mattine from Nottingham Productions, and today I'm sitting down here with the owner of Flatiron Creative Group, Trent Austin. They're a video strategy and production company headquartered in Colorado, but they work all over the world. Trent, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Yeah, of course, Mateen. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So to kick us off really quick, let's just give the people a quick introduction about who you guys are and what you do. So tell me about Flatiron Creative Group, what kind of projects, clients you work with, kind of a quick overview.
Yeah, of course. Like you said, we are a video production company based in Colorado. We call Denver home, but like you said, we travel all over the world. Kind of our claim to fame, one of our most fun projects we did recently was in Scotland, filming for a whiskey distillery over there. But what we do, we're a video production company that specializes in promotional and brand story pieces for adventurous brands. What do we mean by adventurous brands? As you know, video production is very multifaceted. So being here in Colorado, we're blessed to work with a lot of outdoor snowboarding, ski companies, that sort of thing. But we also work with more on the corporate side, whether that's construction, technology, lifestyle brands, and then, like I mentioned earlier, whiskey distilleries. So that's one of our favorites. So yeah, it's kind of just a multifaceted production company, really telling those brand stories, creating promotional pieces that connect businesses with their audiences.
Awesome. Yeah, so I guess on that note, as far as like the whiskey company in Scotland or some of those like ski and snowboard companies you work with, uh, have you seen an impact that your videos have left on that brand and kind of their utilization of your video strategy?
Yeah, of course. I think kind of one of the what's the word I'm looking for here? One of the unspoken things that kind of happens through video production a lot of time is, I mean, when companies come to you and say, "Hey, we need video," obviously they're looking for video, they're looking for results. But one of the things that happens after the fact, and we produce these videos, and they're connecting with more customers, and they're getting more sales, is it creates a sort of momentum with the industry or with that business. They're like, "Oh wow, we're finding success now." Because of video. And so it just gets the ball rolling for that business. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's like they've seen how video can kind of establish themselves as an industry leader, and they just start moving forward, and they want more video, and they want more results, and they want more sales, and they just kind of find success in a way that wouldn't be expected from the beginning when you agree to sign on production. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. As far as I guess, them using that and finding that momentum and things getting started, would you say that you've worked with anybody in the past who is starting from a point where they're looking for your help or they're kind of looking for specific problems to be solved with your video? And then when you figure that out, how have you seen that kind of impact their business?
Yeah, and I'll kind of piggyback off that answer I gave previously. Let me use an example of a ski shop we used here in Colorado. So they came to me last year after changing ownership. The old company, still the same company, but the old ownership was very much rooted in the old school style. Excuse me, words are hard. Old school style of marketing, where it was very outdated branding. They just relied on word of mouth and street presence to kind of bring in new customers. Through word of a mouth situation, they kind of landed in my lap with, "Hey, we understand you do video production. You're kind of in this industry. Tell me what that looks like." So we went through the whole process of where their pain points are at, what they're looking to accomplish. We ended up landing on creating a brand story video for that ski shop. And that was about a year ago. And since then, like I said, piggybacking off that previous answer, I've seen them kind of skyrocket in their industry because that brain story video has established them as an industry leader in the area. They've seen that, they recognize that, they push on their website, and they love the success they found from that. And so they've since, upped their social media game. They've upped their street marketing. It's kind of like their cornerstone to marketing was the brain story video. And they found the momentum from that, and they've really turned their business around and found success just from the video marketing aspect side of things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love a good success story with the business. And, obviously, like if a company is reaching out to a professional or, a video production company like mine or yours that does this every day, they can expect that kind of service. But something I think a lot of people wonder about who are still curious or interested in doing video production for the business is starting it on their own and kind of, trying some things by themselves first. So as far as people who are just looking to get started and try out to make their own stuff, what would you say is like the most common issue that you see when they try to utilize video marketing, but then they're failing or it's not working or it's not exactly delivering the results they're looking for?
Yeah, so I always encourage people, regardless of your technology or resources available, to try and start creating video production on your own. You know as well as I do that we live in a great age of technology. iPhones can create movies nowadays. So my recommendation is, even if you're not ready to fully dive into a full production project like a brand story video, is to test it on your own. Start with creating some simple social media content. It doesn't have to be fancy. Again, use an iPhone, whatever, just to kind of get some eyes on your business. To answer your question, though, where I feel like a lot of people kind of lack in the knowledge or could use some help with is the strategy side of things. It's, they're creating the videos, they're pushing content, but there's really not a why behind the intent there. And that's where companies like mine and yours come in. We sit down and we take an in-depth look under the microscope. Okay, what are your pain points? What objectives are you trying to solve? Brain story video may not be your best option. A lot of times it is. It just depends. Maybe we're looking at, maybe you need some social media consistency. Maybe you need a rebrand. Whatever that is, I feel like just kind of diving into that strategy is where a lot of companies could use the help. To kind of answer more of your question, though, I feel a lot of people who are new to production, they expect creating a video will deliver overnight results. And that's not the case. I mean, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but we're playing the long game here. We're looking at, what are your long-term brand objectives? And how do we match the content to meet those objectives? To give you a personal example, I found a lot of clients here in my area are looking to create content, but they're looking at the wrong stage of the funnel. So, while they may need some brand awareness, they may need eyes on their company to begin with to get those customers to their website. They're wanting to create those conversion results. They don't even have people on their website yet. So how are we going to get people looking at a video to create results when they're not even, funneling into your company to begin with? If that makes sense at all.
Yeah, yeah, of course, I agree. And like you said earlier, I really like the point you mentioned where you said you're playing the long game. One of my favorite things about video that I love telling people is that it's great because it's permanent, right? If you make a really solid brand story video or a great client testimonial, these are things that you can literally have up for the next 15 years and it will it'll last, it'll be true, it'll tell your story. So yeah, I like that point you said a lot. But I kind of want to jump back to something you mentioned at the beginning of your answer. Um, when you mentioned them starting off with, some social media videos or trying some stuff on their own, that kind of makes me think of, this whole shift into short form content that we've been moving into recently. And as video creators, we kind of have to adapt to that and see how we can still serve our clients in that area of the video world. So do you think that the shift has changed the way you had to work with your video strategy and video production? And as I'm sure it has, I know you're going to say yes. If you don't mind just going a little bit into that, or how that's changed your process and how it's changed the results for your clients.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, it's definitely changed. I mean, we're in 2024 already. Like everyone is on social media. Everyone wants to be on social media if they're not. So when it comes to pitching to companies, for example, we found a lot more traction with customers be like, yes, we need video production. Like I said earlier, we may not be ready for the brain story video or a larger commercial, but we absolutely need help with social media. So we found a lot of our clientele are interested in the production side of things when it comes to social media to begin with. There's a couple companies who we have lined up to start retainers in 2024. Case in point, they're not ready for a brain story video yet, and that's fine, but they need help with social media. So I feel like a lot of companies and B2B industry people are looking towards production companies to kind of help them create that monthly social retainer.
Right. Yeah. And I've noticed that's a big thing too. There's been a big shift from these one-off huge commercial projects where, you're making a television commercial or something that's going to run on an ad versus we just want videos for our Instagram, or we want TikTok videos or Facebook videos or whatever it is, because that's where the money is right now. People are getting so much business just from, natural organic growth online. So, I like that a lot. And I've seen that too with my clients in my work. I've noticed that a lot of the content that I produce nowadays, of course, is this short form style of content. And as far as like my video strategy efforts with the people I work with, I feel like it's almost delivering better results just because there's so many people. You know, you, me, and everyone else, every day we scroll. So every day I see content. That means if you're a business trying to sell something or market something, that the prospects you have, they're seeing that content too and they're scrolling. So if you can reach them in that way, it's super powerful. And I think that's why like it's become so obvious, not just as something we know exists, but can like actually see the real results of. Um, but yeah, as far as like this year, where do you see the video marketing industry heading? It could still be this or maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion before, as with a bunch of our other creative colleagues. I think AI is at the forefront of everyone's, conversation right now. Not to go too deep into it, but the process I do to kind of leverage AI softwares to create advertising to bring into my business, and that's something that I feel other businesses are going to start utilizing. Production companies and production companies are going to start advertising as well. It's like, hey, you know, we have the meat and potatoes of production, but why don't we start using this tool and this tool and this tool, which are all AI? I think we're really at the cusp of the revolution, and I tell creators all the time, it's not something to be scared of. It's something that you need to learn, and something that you need to embrace, and something that you need to upsell to your customers, and customers and businesses as well. It's something you need to start taking advantage of, to kind of set yourself in that industry or as the industry leader. So yeah, AI I think is something that we're really going to see take off even more in 2024, and yeah, something I think production companies can really leverage to deliver even better results.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I made a post about this, I think about a week ago, but I was saying how AI has changed the business on my end too, because a lot of the things that my clients wanted before, they don't have to pay me to do it. They can just do it themselves, and then they can come to me for the more important things that are kind of out of reach for a consumer to be able to get done. And what that does for
Mhm.
me is it saves me a lot of time on like the tedious work that can just be automated and lets me focus on the more important stuff, and it gives them a better product. You can increase the quantity, right? You can like scale all this
Right.
output just with these automated processes. So yeah, I agree. That's definitely probably like the biggest thing on the forefront of this upcoming year. Um, as far as these companies that are already using video marketing, just to segue into my next question, do you see any differences between the ones that are using video production, and not just for marketing but for any of their systems, in comparison to the ones that don't?
Yeah, and I think the answer is cliche, but it's cliche in the fact that it's true. It's people who use video marketing have established themselves as video leaders. And when we use the example all the time, you go to someone's website, exact same industry, exact same location, exact same mission purpose. Customers are going to be drawn to the company that have, visually appealing video, digital media, whether that's, social media, whether that's a banner video, whether that's a brand story video. They're going to pay more attention to you if you have that video present. And so I think just having that on your page or utilizing video production in 2024 is really, where we're going. We've been going there for a while, but I think now more than ever, it's so important that these marketers who are utilizing it really are setting themselves apart as the industry standard.
Yeah, yeah, of course, totally, I agree. And obviously, you and me can come off as pretty biased because like this is what we live and breathe. But I guess for people that hear that message and are like wanting to do something like that, what would you say, I guess, is your best advice for like the first place they could start before they reach out to someone like us who can kind of give that professional hand? I know you touched a little bit on this earlier when you said starting with some social media content or short form video, but do you think there's any like specific advice you could give to the companies and marketers out there kind of looking to get a jump start on this?
Yeah, I'd say, at a minimum, just reach out. I tell people all the time, even if you're not ready to dive into a video project, let's hop on a call, kind of look at your pain points, look at what you're wanting to accomplish, and see if we can tailor a video approach to fit that. I'm not going to sit there and try to sell you a video. If that's a strategy you want to take back to your company and implement that, whatever through photography, social media, whatever, give it a go. Like, I'm all about providing value, as I know you are too. So I would say start there, try to figure out a strategy, and that's what we specialize in, right? Is creating video strategies and marketing strategies. And if you find some shortfalls there, which oddly enough, a lot of marketers do because they have their hands in so many areas. They come back to us for the video production side of things, and that's what we specialize in. So yeah, I would say just to get started, get on a call with a video strategist, sit down, look at ways to improve, take and run with that. If it works for you, great. But if not, need some extra help, then come to us for that extra production value.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Like I've been through that same situation too, where I've had multiple calls with people where I'm not like in there to sell them a video. I'm just there to talk about it. And it's many times happened where we just finish up that call and I send them some of my blog posts, or maybe I have some like other resources for them to check out. I'm like, yeah, just use this. If you have any questions, you can always email me, check in with me, let me know. I think what's most important is that people just get that start sooner rather than later, because video and social media is moving faster than we can keep up. So sooner the better. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That being said, that's all the questions I had today. Really appreciate you having a chance to talk with me and helping educate the people on everything video marketing related.
Yeah, man. Always happy to contribute.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching. We upload videos here weekly to give you more information about video marketing, social media, and anything else you can need in the video strategy and production world. Thank you so much, and subscribe if you want to see more.